fun. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's gonna be loud until we get in. It's just the starting soon. doing today? Welcome on in, welcome on in. We're back. Gonna continue our Spirit of Justice journey through the land of lawyers and spirit mediums. Hi guys. Hope everyone's doing good. Where we left off, we just made it to court. And we're on our first cross-examination of Miss Emma Skye, the defendant's motive. We finally met the new prosecutor. He's very interesting. Nayuta Sadmari, age 25, a prosecutor from Korean. He's also a monk, which explains why he's known as the last rights prosecutor. Very interesting, very interesting. Alright, let's do this. The victim planned to get his revenge on Troop Gramarye during Trucy's magic show. Mr. Reyes was going to first steal the Gramarye notebook from the defendant. He then intended to reveal the secrets behind their magic tricks during the show. That was the victim's plan for revenge, and while he did in fact steal the notebook, the defendant murdered him before he had a chance to reveal the secrets. Hello. By the time the accused had discovered the notebook's theft, it was too late. Her only option was to kill Mr. Reyes and make it look like an accident.
Objection!
That's nothing but conjecture.
Objection!
The victim's assistant, Bonnie DeFam, gave the police a statement. She testified that just before the start of the show, Mr. Reyes said, "I'm going to reveal all of Troop Gramarye's secrets on stage today." What? Well, that isn't exactly a great starting point for a rebuttal, is it? You're telling me. Allow me to give you one piece of advice, defense. Oh? And what's that? Whoa! Butterfly! Let it go and move on. Oh, look at the butterfly! That's so cute. And the Magatamas on his bracelet. Oh, that's so cute. Excuse me? Helping a sinner will only sully your own soul. One possessed of an unclean soul will burn in the flames of hell. Jesus. And then be ever burdened with that sin in their next life. But I don't believe in that sort of thing. Besides, I have no intention of giving up. Oh, Holy Mother, grant me the strength to deal with this putrid lawyer. All actions have consequences, and yours will surely earn you the honor of being a mere stink bug at best in your next life. Well, he already looks the part, so... A stink bug! Now then, Mr. Stink Bug... Oh, I mean Mr. Justice. What the heck? Your cross-examination, please. What the heck? Oh. Oh, when we're not in Korean, the penalty bar are the little lawyer badges. That's so cute. Oh, that's adorable. I like the fancy penalty bars we have now. Yeah, the defendant murdered him before he had a chance to reveal the secrets.
Hold it!
I'm sorry, but what exactly is the basis for claiming it was murder? Beats me. Emma's like, I'm just doing what I'm told. What? The basis is beats me? You'll have to ask Prosecutor Sadmati over there because he hasn't told me his reasoning either. Detective Sky, your feeding of information to the defense has not gone unnoticed by my eyes. Oh. The bad karma of acts which go against your duty will impinge upon you in your next life. But even before that, it may impinge upon your job in the form of a transfer. Oh. But please don't get me kicked out of the forensics unit. Anything but that. Poor Emma. She's really been risking everything for us. Well, Prosecutor Sadmati, what are your grounds for claiming homicide? Now you just literally like, there's no such thing as an accident. It was the luminous tape in the understage passage. The glow-in-the-dark tape? I realized that it had been moved. Moved so that Mr. Reyes would climb up into the downstage coffin by mistake. What? Mr. Reyes, who was waiting in the understage passage, was supposed to have used the upstage ladder, shown here on the left. Okay. He was to climb up into the coffin that had been set up in the backstage area, after being turned into a stuffed dragon during Act 1. Mr. Reyes was supposed to come back to life and emerge from that coffin. But the luminous tape had been moved to mark the downstage ladder. So the victim climbed up into the coffin on the stage itself by mistake. Okay. The very same coffin the accused thrust her sword into. I'm not gonna lie, I get the judges trying to respect the customs of Nayuta's country, but Nayuta should also be respecting their customs. Equal respect is important. Yeah. Bonnie's face. And you have proof that it was my client who moved the tape? But of course, Detective Sky. Oh, that's right. I identified the defendant's fingerprints on the luminous tape. Yeah, but she probably put them down to begin with. Also, she wasn't wearing her gloves to get her fingerprints on it? Okay, fine, yeah. You what? He actually had proof? Well, defense, are you finally ready to let it all go and move on? No, because Trissy was wearing gloves during the show. Absolutely not. Detective, please add this information about the prints on the tape to your testimony. The defendant's prints were on the tape. I guess she must have moved it during the show. Trissy wore gloves during the show, so none of her fingerprints were found. Yes.
Objection!
Objection. We've never seen her take them off. I'm sorry, Detective Sky, but there's a flaw in your testimony. Oh, really? The prosecution is claiming that Miss Wright moved the understage tape during the show, in order to guide the victim into the coffin downstage. But it doesn't make sense that she would leave prints on the tape at that time. It doesn't? Please consider the fingerprinting results of the main coffin. Like, why would she take her gloves off just to touch the tape? Like, that makes no sense. Which shows that not one of my client's fingerprints was found on or in it. That's true. We didn't find any of her prints on that coffin. I think you've realized what the flaw in your testimony is. Claiming Miss Wright left prints on the tape during the show is inconsistent with the facts. Because she was wearing gloves during the show. Oh! She must have left the prints sometime before the show started. In other words, her prints do not prove she moved the tape to mislead the victim. The prosecution's investigation was insufficient. Oh my. But on a personal level, I'm very happy about that. Yeah, the detective's on our side for once. It's a nice change of pace to have a witness on our side. Well, Prosecutor Sadmadi, if the defense's argument is true, then you have no evidence the defendant moved the tape to deceive the victim. Boo! I'm back. Hi, gamers. Where'd my headphones go? There. Oh my gosh, my back is hurting so bad. Probably not gonna be a long stream today. I see. Apparently the defense is more intelligent than I had thought. Dang, okay. Okay. More than a stink bug at any rate. Yay! We've upgraded in the world. We're not a stink bug. Yay. Come on. You can bump me up to at least a stag beetle now, can't you? Oh, my little stag beetle, Apollo Justice.
Would that really be any better?
Of course. Way better. Stag beetles are cool with those huge mandibles of theirs. Oh, my little beetle, Apollo Justice. I love it. I love that they're feeding into it. If the defense wishes to be promoted to a stag beetle, then answer me this question. He's a literal bug. Alright, shoot. Even with no evidence that the accused moved the tape to misguide the victim still climbed the ladder using the tape as a guide. True. Somebody else moved it then, and entered the coffin on the stage. The accused then thrust her sword into said coffin with the victim in it. So what you're saying is, the fact remains that the victim was stabbed to death, right? Precisely. However, this does drastically change one aspect of this case. If the accused did not lead the victim into the coffin on purpose, then it means the victim's death could have been accidental. If it was indeed an accident, the defense can argue that it was involuntary manslaughter. True, we could, but we're going for that not guilty verdict, baby. You know us. I see. If it was involuntary manslaughter, they could plead extenuating circumstances, and the severity of the crime could be mitigated. Defense. If you believe the accused did not murder the victim, then do you argue that it was an accident? No way, baby. Not guilty verdicts. That's the only way we run in the Wright Anything Agency. Yep, if he was standing up alive in the coffin, wouldn't the sword have gone through his side, it's going through his back. Yep, that's why we're arguing that it's not Trucy's fault at all. This is it. The all-important question. I'm assuming that the sword was stabbed into him after. The defense argues that Mr. Reyes' death was an accident murder. It was murder, but not Trucy. Trucy didn't do it. The defense maintains that the defendant is entirely innocent. We believe that it wasn't an accident, but murder. And what's more, we believe it was committed by a third party. A third party? As in the true culprit is someone else? I just realized he wears like one fingerless glove, like Athena does. Very interesting. That is quite a brazen claim to make, and one wholly without grounds. Your voice is as loud as your suit, and your mind echoes just as loudly in emptiness. You're one to talk about loud outfits. Have you looked at you in the mirror? Surely you were but a loud red pepper in your previous life. Okay. I've been demoted to a vegetable? Imagine if they made this an episode where the jury decides if Trucy's guilty or not. Wow. I didn't know a person could be reincarnated as a non-sentient plant. In any case, I do have grounds to make this claim. Let us hear this reasoning of yours, then. Alright, but before I give it, there is one question that we need to address. If the victim was killed by some third party, then the sword the defendant thrust into the coffin wasn't the cause of death. If that's the case, then how did we wind up with a dead body inside the coffin? Very good question. Now let's hear your opinion, Mr. Justice. How did the victim's body wind up inside the coffin? I like the it. Sorry about that. To be fair, I've been thinking this, but like, how on earth would someone have got a body up a flight of stairs, get it to presumably stand up, and then fall as if standing up? Like, the murder could have literally only happened afterwards. I wonder if someone drugged him, but that would show up in the autopsy report. At least it should. Oh man, I can't wait until our autopsy report gets updated to show he was drugged. I can see them. Okay, here's... we know how much I like to update it. I can see this case going in a way where we get to a point where it's like, oh, he could have only died understage. I'm assuming he got killed understage. I'm gonna call up his friends. I need to see the prosecutor. Oh my god, yeah, let's get to the prosecutor, then I'll finish my thoughts. What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put in the coffin? In other words, what if the victim was already dead in the coffin from the get-go? Oh, I see. In that case, the defendant's sword wouldn't have been the cause of death. How do you respond, Prosecutor Sadmadi? There you go. What was I saying? I can see the prosecution saying that Trucy drugged him and stuff, and she put the body in the coffin so that she could whoa. She put the body in the coffin so that she could get charged for involuntary manslaughter instead of murder. Angelic. Look at the scarf, Mac. Look at the scarf. It's... Bye, I gotta go back to Friends. Have a 10 out of 10 stream. Bye, Matt. Have fun. That is the third time. The third time of what? Here. Did he throw beads at us? What the heck? What the heck is this? Whoa, ah. Okay. Ah! Ow, 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 my head. What the hell? What do you think you're doing? Even the merciful Holy Mother loses patience if she is struck 3 times. Since you never learn, you needed to be punished. Why don't you let me worry about what I need and don't need? Oh, did someone put the body in the coffin? Was lying on the floor and then made it stand up, so the body would have been standing up, so he never climbed up the ladder? Why don't you let me worry about what I need and don't need? It is what you deserve for interfering with my sacred last rites for the victim. You are a brainless lawyer chasing phantoms. You know nothing. Let this humble servant of the Holy Mother give you an edifying sermon. A sermon? Now? There is a passage in the sacred scriptures of Koreanism. A cornered frog will swallow even a snake. Huh? A cornered lawyer has unexpectedly struck back hard against the prosecution. Did I get it right? No, for I am not done with my sermon. And yet, the frog still dies, its belly bitten and torn from within. Whoa, that's deep. That's deep. Just great. And in this case, you are that frog defense. Yeah, I got it. I got it. What exactly is your point anyway? Let us assume for a moment that the victim was killed under the stage. Who then had the opportunity to do so during the show? Let's see, the people in the show were Bonnie DeFawn, the victim Mr. Reyes, and Trucy Wright. Bonnie DeFawn was on stage throughout the entire show, as easily confirmed by the footage from the show. Which leaves us with only one suspect, Trucy Wright. Now do you see? The accused killed Mr. Reyes as he waited on standby in the understage passage. and then placed his dead body in the coffin above, thus making the murder look like an accident. I knew it! I knew that was gonna be the prosecution's argument. I knew that was coming. No! Oh, great and merciful Holy Mother, thus another putrid mind has been guided towards enlightenment. I can't believe I swallowed his trick question whole.
Objection!
Yeah, Athena! Sorry, but I have to raise an objection here. Athena? What are you... There's something I want to point out, Apollo. And who might you be? You strike me as a mere child in countenance. I may be young, but I have an attorney's badge just the same. Imagine if the Holy Mother shows up in an episode and says, I think defense attorneys are based. Apollo is the Holy Mother. Yes. And you would contribute to this discussion in that capacity? I most certainly would. Oh. You just argued that the defendant killed the victim under the stage. Well, let me remind you that Miss Wright is a girl. Okay. Okay, where are you going with this? Clearly. Surely you didn't raise an objection simply to point out such an obvious fact. Damn. Your Honor, please send for this little child's guardian to come take her home. Gosh, dude.
Hold it!
Athena, punch him. But I'm not done with my sermon. You don't need to talk like Prosecutor Sadmati, you know. Listen, if the victim was killed in the understage passage, then his body would have been, then his body would then have to be hauled up to the stage, right? However, Miss Wright is a young girl, and a pretty petite one at that. She couldn't possibly have hefted that large body and put it in the coffin. Oh, that's true. It does seem like it would be a rather difficult task for the defendant. I don't think even I could do it. What do you think of that, Prosecutor? Who's the child now? In my religion, the priestesses of Koreanism are revered as the pillars of our beliefs. So I naturally hold nothing but deep respect for women. Yeah! Love to see it! I also think highly of the female perspective. Says the man who called this fair maiden a little child. Who's a fair Jesus, Apollo, again? He even bullies her in his mind. Like, Jesus. Oh my god, Apollo. Who's a fair maiden? I agree that your point is worth discussing a defense. How indeed was the dead body raised up into the coffin? Oh, he's gonna say the stage lifts. By the accused, Trucy Wright, that is. You're committed to pointing the finger at her no matter what, huh? Then you explain that, how that even be possible. But of course. There was a way for even a small creature like her to raise the victim's body up. Huh? Wait, you really can explain it? I foresaw that our arguments would come to this, so I have prepared a witness. Well, well, I admire your readiness, Prosecutor. It is really not that difficult when one can read the ultimate outcome of any trial. He couldn't have really predicted that things would turn out like this, could he? It's pretty hard to believe. Excuse me, but may I step down now? I just been kind of just sitting here for like 20 minutes. Yes, I suppose you may. One moment, Detective Sky. I'm sorry. Or, you know, the way I handled all this. You did a fine job, Detective. Your testimony was invaluable. It was? Yes. You served well as a detective and did not allow your personal feelings to interfere. Dang. You overcame the conflicted emotions you felt and performed your duty admirably. You will be rewarded for your fine work. Oh, thank you? I hope we can work together again in the future. Emma seems bewildered by the unexpected praise. I guess he's a pretty nice person, like they say, as long as you're not up against him. Now then, let us call the next witness. No. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the court. It's very nice to meet all of you. I'm a lagomorphing illusionist from the land of fairy tales, Bonnie de Femme. I can't wait to do some magic tricks for all of you.
Please, witness, there is a time and place for all things, including magic.
Oh, but it would be okay if I do just a little magic, right? Come on, please. Look, everybody's waiting. Now's my chance to shine.
That is your second time.
My second time doing what?
There will be no further warnings. You should know that from our preparatory meeting, correct?
Yeep.
Is no one exempt from His Holiness's rosary of suffering? May we have your testimony, witness? Once you've recovered from your disappointment. Dang.
Well, as a huge fan of Trucy's, I don't really want to testify against her. But I guess I have to, don't I?
As a huge fan of Trucy's, huh?
I hate her. I loathe her. I can't stand that Trucy Wright. Just because she's a little good at magic, she thinks she's all that. So this is exactly what that sniveling brat deserves.
The thing is, though, our bracelet didn't react. You think his bracelet would be like, oh, she's lying. Sure, you're a real fan, alright. Destroying Trucy, you mean. The understage passage.
I really can't believe that Trucy killed Mr. Reyes. I guess it's possible for a small girl to lift a dead body if she used the stage lift.
I knew it.
Is it possible? Could Trucy really have? If Trucy did use a stage lift, I think she must have used stage lift too. I was on stage for the entire show, by the way.
Okay, no one asked. That was sus. You were on stage the whole time? And you're sure about that? There is no question. The entire audience could testify to that fact. What's more, she is shown clearly in the TV show footage as well.
I couldn't possibly have killed Mr. Reyes. Not little old me.
No one had said that. No one said anything. Girl. Everything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. Therefore, the only person who could have killed the victim understage is the accused. Furthermore, by using a stage lift, even a petite young lady could have raised the body up to the stage without difficulty. You've got to be kidding me. Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
I really can't believe that Trucy killed Mr. Reyes.
You said you were a huge fan of Trucy's, isn't that right?
Oh yes, I even became a magician because I wanted to be just like her. The first time I saw her, she was performing at the Wonder Bar. She was only in junior high back then, but she got up on stage with tons of confidence. And And then she proceeded to win my heart with her astonishing tricks and winning smile.
She certainly sounds like she means all that. So, finally being able to perform with her must have been quite a treat for you, right?
Oh, yes. After all, it was my chance to have her see me. Not just as a fan, but as a fellow magician.
Oh.
But then that horrible accident happened.
It was not an accident, it was murder. Witness, please explain if you would. How a small young woman such as Trucy Wright could have raised the body?
I guess it's possible for a small girl like me to lift a dead body like she says it.
What makes you think it would be possible? It's not like you tried it out yourself, right? Murderer!
Well,
Actually, we did try it out for ourselves. You did? Detective Sky, if you would. Oh! So that's why you made me do that. Detective Sky, what did he have you do? The prosecutor asked me to try raising one of the male police officers with the stage lift, without a single word of explanation as to why he was making me do it. You're kidding. It's as if he really can foresee all of our counter-arguments. Do not underestimate this humble servant of the Holy Mother. More like haughty.
I guess that means Trucy could have lifted the dead body up. Does that mean... Is it possible that Trucy really...
Is what possible? Could Trucy really have what, Miss Defam? Please finish your sentence.
Ick. Well,
Don't try to beat around the bush. Come right out and say it. Why not tell this court what you really believe?
What I really believe? Well, of course I don't believe Trucy could ever commit murder. Such an amazing and wonderful magician would never do such a thing. But, taking all the facts into account, what else can I think?
I know of at least 3 other unflattering things you really think about Trucy. How can you attack this girl when she is obviously speaking with reserve? There is such a thing as reading between the lines, Mr. Justice. It's sad how the youth of today lack the ability to do such a basic thing. Looking at me like that isn't gonna help me stick my foot in my mouth less, Your Honor. Witness, please describe what the accused might have used to lift the dead body.
Alright. If Trucy did use a stage lift, I think she must have used stage lift too.
Stage lift 2? You mean the stage lift shown here on the left? It was already raised, though, when she was down there.
That's right. With a stage lift, I think even a small girl could easily lift a dead body up onto the stage.
And so that makes her the murderer, in your opinion?
Of course not. I believe in Trucy. Oh, like I said, I'm a huge fan of hers.
Oh, brother. How long is she gonna keep this act up? Defense, what position was stage lift 2 in after the show? Let's see. If I recall, it was in the fully raised position. And the reason why it was fully raised is because the accused used it to lift the victim's body. Wouldn't you agree? Or the real murderer did? Don't throw the beads at me, please. Feel free to slowly mull it over while you roast over the flames of hell, you evil red pepper. So now I'm also evil?
I was on stage for the entire show, by the way.
No one asked. No one asked. That's so sus of you. You didn't have a single spare moment to slip down to the understage passage?
Huh? Oh, don't tell me you suspect me now.
I'm just trying to do my job by fully examining your alibi. Depending on how solid it is, I might have to suspect you, yes. Oh! You gotta be kidding me. Don't spit on my head and tell me it's raining, lawyer boy.
I'm right there in the footage. Are you too much of an idiot to see?
Huh? Mr. Farm? Are you feeling all right? You seem suddenly different.
Oh, oops. Where did that come from, right? Oh my, I seem to have snapped there for a second, didn't I? Tee?
You didn't just snap, you broke character just now.
In any case, I was on stage the whole time performing magic. I mean, you saw me in the footage, right? My dazzling and flawless performance.
Flawless? That's odd, considering what you told me. You said that you'd made a mistake with where you positioned Mr. Hat. Mr. Farm? To what is the defense referring?
Well, I made a little mistake on stage. Oh, I was in charge of operating Mr. Hat, you see.
How are you controlling Mr. Hat and also doing this performance?
According to the script, I was supposed to place him to the left of the coffin.
If it's not twins, I do have another theory. Might explain why Apollo's bracelet hasn't got off. Bonnie truly is one person.
But I flubbed it up. It made him stand to the right of the coffin instead.
And because of that mistake, Trucy had to move the stage lifts around?
I feel really bad about messing Trucy up like that with my goof. Tee.
Darn it. I don't see any inconsistencies in her testimony.
Now, do you know who the real killer is?
Come on, Gramps. Don't just sit there. Hand down your ruling, pronto.
Do it quick before you keel over up there.
I beg your pardon?
Oops. Oh, what's got into me? I'm so sorry.
I give her another 5 minutes before she tears off that mask. Well, defense? Are you ready to let it all go now? Of course not. I'll never give up. I see. I suppose this too is fate. The sacred scriptures of Koreanism describe a variety of hells for the damned. For someone like you who struggles ceaselessly against his fate, Papal Bulging seems most appropriate. People boiling? What? Oh, wait, that's Koreanese. What sort of terrible place is people boiling? A place where the more one struggles, the further one falls into the abyss. At the bottom of the abyss, a ferocious beast awaits. Think of it as something akin to an antlion sandpin trap. Oh! There's one of those in my backyard! Is there now? Wow, Koreanist hell is closer to home than I thought. Now then, it would appear that the witness's testimony supports the prosecution's claims. That the defendant is the only one who could have killed the victim understage. How are we supposed to get out of this jam? Hey, Apollo. If you can't find any contradictions, maybe it's time to use analytical psychology. You mean, I heard some discord in Bonnie's voice while she was testifying. Oh, it's gonna be on the part where she said she was on stage the entire time. She's noisy. See, Widget is picking up on the noise in her heart, too. That's right. Athena can hear things others can't with her super sensitive hearing. She can hear the emotions people suppress as a kind of noise or discord in their voices. Please don't make there be a tutorial. I know how to do this. Alright, Athena, let's give it a try. You got it!
Hold it!
Your Honor,
I'm afraid that our witness, Mr. Pham, is suffering under terrible traumatic stress due to this horrible incident.
she is?
Yes, what with that terrible death on stage, and her beloved Trucy getting arrested, she's under awful strain and shock. In fact, I don't know how much more she can take before she is unfit to testify. What?
Oh, I've heard of that. What is it called? Postal stress disorder, right? You got it, Judge. It's where a person becomes uncontrollably angry, I think. I read about it somewhere. That's going postal, Your Honor. This is PTSD. Oh my. So that's why the witness acts so hostile at times, as if she were a different person. Yes, and I think her condition is clouding her memory of the incident. Therefore, I suggest a short therapy session for the witness. Huh? Therapy? You don't know the first thing about a magician's mental strength. I risked my life jumping through rings of fire and having my body sawn in half. Oopsie. Oh boy, do I have to watch my temper, don't I? Miss Sykes, please do whatever you can to help this unfortunate young lady. And what exactly is this child planning to do, Mr. Justice? With her super-sensitive hearing, Miss Sykes can hear a witness's true emotions. Simply from tone and inflection, she can tell exactly what a person is feeling. I can even pick out feelings that a witness is trying to suppress or hide. Widget projects the emotions I hear into the mood matrix where I can analyze them. Sounds like some sort of spurious devilry. Though I find it hard to believe, I must ask, how do emotions constitute evidence? Well, I won't say that emotions can be taken as evidence per se. I've seen how instrumental Miss Sykes' work has been in cracking a case. Therefore, I wholly support giving it a try. I see. If you are in favor of it, Your Honor, then I have no objections. Even this mere monk can see that something disturbs the witness. I'll disturb you! Oh, thank you for understanding, Prosecutor Sadmati. Apollo, you remember how to conduct a therapy session, right? Yes, I do. Don't give me a tutorial. You want me to lead this session? Of course. You're the lead on this case, after all. Fair enough, but do I need a refresher? Oh my god. I'm so glad that they added these. No, I'm good. I've done plenty of these. I think I still remember from the last time, so let's get right into it. Okie dokie. You ready, Widget?
Let's do this.
Let's go, Bonnie.
I guess Trucy is the one who killed Mr. Reyes. Even she could move the body with that lift. I was on stage at the time. But that terrible mistake. My stupid flub caused Trucy so much trouble. I feel so bad about it.
No, you don't. You're a liar. You're a liar.
Got it!
I have to say, Mr. Pham, you certainly are a strange one. Even though you said, I feel so bad about it, seems you're feeling happy about it. Ouch! I think I can guess why you're feeling happy. It must be because it was Trucy's big debut. You made a mistake, or you messed Trucy up. Oh, it's gotta be you messed Trucy up. I think you're happy because you messed the defendant up. I'm right, aren't I? You gotta be kidding me. Why would I be happy I messed Trucy up? I'm a big fan of hers. Because we saw you. I hate her. I loathe her. I can't stand that Trucy Wright. Just because she's a little good at magic, she thinks she's all that. So this is exactly what that sniveling brat deserves. We saw you said you hated Trucy Wright, how you were glad she was in trouble, and even how it was what she deserved. Ouch. It looks like I hit the bunny on the head, so to speak. Apollo, the noise level dropped. Now if we could get it down to 0%. Well, Mr. Pham, are you ready to confess how you really feel? What? What do you mean?
I'm Bonnie, the sweet, cute little bunny. I'm a Ricky magician working hard to be just like my idol Trucy. That's the character I'm supposed to be.
Objection!
Maybe the bracelet's not reacted because she's in character. It's like an actor kind of thing. Keep that up, Miss Stefan, and you're gonna have a mental breakdown. Just let yourself be who you really are.
Who I really am.
The two sides of you are fighting each other and doing you psychic harm. I can hear them. Two distinct voices battling inside you.
Shut your pie hole. You know nothing, know-it-all. I mean, you mustn't say things like that, or I might get flustered.
Mr. Fama, how long do you insist on maintaining this wolf in sheep's clothing act? We can't end this therapy session until you get real with us. Get real. Set the wild beast inside you free.
Ouch!
Ugh. Ugh.
Don't make me laugh. You don't know a dang thing about me. You want to see who I really am?
Fine. Take a good look. Ooh. Whoa! Oh! What in the world?
Sheep's clothing. You got it all wrong. It's a rabbit suit I've got on.
Oh, that's so cool. I love it. I love it.
And I'm not a wolf. I'm a blood-sucking vampire. A bat with fangs and wings.
Eek. I think we just opened Pandora's box.
I'm finally done with that goody two-shoes cottontail act. I feel free as a bat.
But she's still got Discord in her heart, or is it gonna go down? Defense! Your therapy session has taken a turn for the worse from the looks of it. There's a perfectly good explanation for this. Isn't there, Miss Sykes?
Methinks I created a monster. We blew it.
Hey you, lobster boy. Who, me?
You think I'm glad Trucy is in trouble? That I think she's getting her just desserts?
Oh, she's so cool now.
Well, guess what?
You're right. Does this mean you admit to wishing the defendant harm?
Well, the bat is out of the bag now. That mistake of mine was a work of art. Thanks to my goof, poor little Trucy had to do all that hard physical labor.
When you say hard physical labor, what are you referring to?
Because of Mr. Hat's new position, Trucy had to move both of those huge stage lifts. They must have been so heavy. What a riot!
That's strange. Athena, could you please add that last statement to Bonnie's testimony? Yeah, how'd she know about that? Alright, I'll update the mood matrix with the new info. Hey, Apollo? Now there's a new inconsistency in the testimony. Yeah, she finally slipped up. So what do I need to do now? Well, from this point onward, you just do what you do best. Find the contradiction in the testimony and present evidence to refute it. Alright, I've got you now, Bonnie DeFam.
I guess Trucy's the one who killed Mr. Reyes. Even she can move the body with that lift. I was on stage at the time, but that terrible mistake.
Oh,
You know what? Serves her right. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lifts.
yeah, she told no one about it. Bonnie messed up Mr. Hat's position for the escape trick, placing him opposite the scripted location on the right side. As a result, Trucy had to quickly move the stage lifts under the stage. She never told anyone that she had to move the stage lifts.
Objection!
In a truce, you could look scary. That doesn't make sense.
What? So you think I'm crazy now?
No. That's not the point I was trying to make.
But I don't hear you denying it.
Miss Stefan, allow me to repeat your statement. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lifts.
That's right, and I still say that's just what she deserves.
But how did you know? How did you know Miss Wright moved the stage lifts?
Huh?
According to her own statement, she didn't tell anyone that she had done so.
What?
So how could you possibly have known what she had done? Unless you saw her? You saw Miss Wright moving the lifts in the understage passage, didn't you? Ooh. That's adorable.
Bye-bye. You did it, Apollo. Noise levels are at 0%.
But Mr. Justice, wouldn't that mean? Yes, Your Honor. Miss Stefan herself was under the stage where the victim was killed. And I hardly need to tell the court what that means. You are one artful liar, Miss Stefan, and one spectacular suspect.
Why, you shiny red lobster boy. You saying I killed Mr. Reyes?
I'm saying that it's a possibility. What's more, I say you had a solid motive to frame my client for murder as well.
Objection.
Whoa. Sorry, it's weird to hear him say objection. Usually he says it in Koreanese. My apologies for raining on the defense's merry revelry. But you seem to have forgotten one very important point. Ew. Oh, really? The TV footage. As you can clearly see, Miss Stefan was on the stage the whole time. The entire audience can bear witness to that fact, including you. Oh, yeah. You have just taken a long and senseless journey, only to return to the starting line. The witness could not have been in the understage passage, which means the only one left who could have killed the victim is the accused.
Guess the party's over.
But Miss Stefan knew something she couldn't have known unless she was under the stage. How do you explain that, Prosecutor Sadmati? It's quite simple. The accused must have told the Miss Stefan about it, but then forgot.
Ha! Open up those useless eyes of yours and take a good look at the footage. If Miss Stefan really was in the understage passage, it would mean she was on stage and understage at the same time.
You mean she was in two places at once? Like there was two of her, perhaps? It's how she does her teleporting trick, I bet. I bet it's twins. It's gotta be. That does seem to be the only explanation that makes any sense. I've been suspecting twins for a long time now. As soon as they said the teleporting trick, I'm like, as a magician, teleporting tricks are usually done with twins. It may have been an explanation, but I'm not so sure about the make sense part. And we'll just have to make it make sense. Your Honor, the witness was both on stage and understage at the same time. This is the defense's assertion. I've heard some illogical things come out of you before, but this is absurd. Not really. I'm sure you'll change your tune once you hear my reasoning, Your Honor. My gut tells me you're bluffing, but I'll bite. Very well, Mr. Justice. How do you explain how the witness was in two places at once? She teleported! There were two Bonnies. The Bonnie on stage was fake. There's two Bonnies. There were two Bonnies, Your Honor. If that were the case, it would all make sense, wouldn't it? There were.
two of them?
I suspected you had a few screws loose, but now I see some are missing altogether. Is there a toolkit in this courtroom, Your Honor? I suppose 2, no, 3 screws to be to the head should right in his putrid brain.
Hold it!
Very well, oh. They were gonna get him screws. Very well, bailiff, could you— No, wait, please listen to my argument. Very well. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to at least give it a listen. As was argued earlier, Miss DeFalm is shown in the footage the whole time, but at the same time, she was also watching Miss Wright in the understage passage. The only possible explanation is that there are 2 Bonnies. That almost sounds like it makes sense. What do you think, Prosecutor Sanmati? This humble servant of the Holy Mother is of the opinion that we should lose no time in replacing the defense's many lost screws.
But Apollo, it goes against reality itself to say that one person is actually 2.
But we don't have to be bound by reality after all. We're talking about magic here. So if the Bonnie DeFalm in the footage is the real Bonnie, then the Bonnie here in the witness stand, the one who must have been under stage. This Bonnie DeFalm is our second Bonnie. She is? Say we call the one in front of us Bonnie 2. I believe I have just the piece of evidence to prove that a Miss Bonnie 2 exists. Oh, the unidentified fingerprints. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Judge. Oh, then please submit your evidence, Mr. Justice. What proves the existence of a Bonnie 2?
Take that!
We found a second set of unidentified fingerprints.
What's this? During our investigation, we found a set of unknown prints on the coffin on the stage. These prints were most likely left during the course of the show. But they didn't match the prints of any of the people involved in this case. An unknown third party's fingerprints? I was not told of this. Emma must have kept it from him. So the question is, who could these prints possibly belong to? Miss DeFalm, or should I say Bonnie number 2? These are your fingerprints, aren't they?
Talk to them!
Enough of this foolishness. One person could not possibly be 2, as no one ever heard of identical twins. Those fingerprints could have been left not only during the show, but at any time.
Objection!
It's not like you to lose your cool like that, Prosecutor Sanmati. And I'm sure you know that. Exactly when the fingerprints were made is not the main issue. What do you mean by that, Mr. Justice? The issue is, who do these unknown prints belong to? They're certainly not Bonnie DeFalm's. But what if they belong to the person standing right in front of us? Oh! You mean Bonnie number 2 is the second Bonnie? Is that what you're implying? It's preposterous to suggest that those prints belong to the witness. I say they must belong to some other unknown individual. You know, we could clear this up really easy by just taking her prints right now and checking it. Like, it's a pretty fast process. Prosecutor Sanmati, can you really look at her and still say that?
What are you looking at? Take a picture, it'll last longer.
How could this be? If we check her prints, I'm sure they'll match the unknown set. Well, Bonnie, the prints that don't belong to the real you belong to you, don't they, Bonnie number 2?
No!
It'd be so funny if it updated her little name to say Bonnie number 2. Witness? Is what the defense has said true?
Fine, I admit it. The fingerprints are mine.
Then does that mean you aren't Bonnie DeFalm? What? Ridiculous. Are there really 2 Bonnies?
Nope, there's only one Bonnie. That's because I'm Betty.
Knew it. Bonnie and Betty, that's cute.
Betty DeFom.
Update her name then. She said her name. What? Yeah, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, it's time for a wondrous magic show. Gasp in amazement as this lagomorphing illusionist performs her teleportation magic. Watch closely. It's showtime!
Oh. Oh, that's adorable. That's so cute. Oh. Oh. Oh, look how cute. It's adorable. Oh. What an amazing trick. The witness has suddenly split into 2 people. Okay, Judge. Okay.
It's not a trick. No gimmick to it either. We're simply twins.
What? Twins? So that's how the teleportation trick works?
Ever since our debut, I've had to hide or pretend I'm Bonnie. All cute and sweet and goody-goody.
I can't tell you how stressful it's been.
But I don't have to hide anymore. That's right. Our days of sneaking around are finally over.
Their cover is blown, but they actually seem pretty happy about it. So which one of you is the nice Bonnie DeFom we met in the dressing room? Which one do you think?
That would be me.
And the sharp-tongued Bonnie we saw in the Ratings Raja with the Ratings Raja under stage was...
Hey, who you calling sharp-tongued?
It's all starting to make sense now. In addition to prints from the victim and Bonnie, Betty DeFom's fingerprints were found on the top. That's adorable. Do we have Betty now? Betty DeFom, age 19, a magician who performed with Trucy. She's actually Bonnie's twin sister. Nice. So, Mr. Justice, this changes the facts of the case rather dramatically, doesn't it? It certainly does. During the show, it was Bonnie who was on stage the whole time. So Bonnie couldn't have committed the crime. But Betty, on the other hand, who was under stage, did have the opportunity. They're so cute. Well, so we now have 2 suspects.
Wait just a minute, lobster boy. I didn't do it. That's right. Betty might have a foul mouth, but she'd never kill anybody.
Hey, who's got a foul mouth here?
Oh, well, speak up, huh?
Hold it!
Please save your sibling squabbling for later. Betty, you must have been in the understage passage during the show. Otherwise, you wouldn't have known about the stage lifts being moved. So what exactly were you doing down there?
Fine, I'll testify. Anything to get you off my back.
Prosecutor Sunmati, Betty DeFom is ready to testify. What do you say? Betty, you lied to this humble servant of the Holy Mother.
Wait, what else could I do? I couldn't blow our cover and ruin our magic act.
This is so cute, not gonna lie. Yeah.
Besides, am I gonna go to your twilight hell or whatever for being a liar?
You will indeed. However, it won't be after your death. Rather... Oh. I shall give you a taste of your punishment on this mortal coil in interrogation hell. Now then, Betty DeFalm, please explain to this court what exactly you were doing under the stage. What happened under stage?
It's true. I had business in the understage passage because of the upcoming trick. It was the fire trick, right? The one Mr. Reyes was supposed to do? That's right. It's a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure we were prepared for it. It was in the script, and I really wanted to see it, but I couldn't because of the accident. Shut up! You're gonna give it away! Anyway, I was really busy. Yeah, way too busy to have the chance to kill Mr. Reyes.
Well, that was certainly different.
How's that for a flawless testimony and alibi?
Oh. Oh, they're so cute. Oh.
Our magic is real. It's not a trick or a gimmick.
Oh, poor Bonnie. Oh my, she's floating. Your Honor? You can see she's being held up from below. You were supposed to pretend you didn't see that. It's a little something called etiquette. But I can't help it. Whenever I see a contradiction or inconsistency, I just have to point it out. It's in my blood. Now then, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Okay, well, she's a liar.
It's true, I have business in the understage passage because of the upcoming trick. It's fire trick, right? The one that Mr. Reyes is supposed to do. That's right, it's a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure we were prepared for it. But you didn't. It was empty. It was empty and it was dusty.
Objection!
One moment. Sorry about that, gamers. Had to take a call. I'm back. I hate to break this to you, Betty, but there's a big flaw in your testimony. As big as the one in that floating trick you did earlier.
Oh, harsh words. Let me tell you something, forehead boy. No one has ever figured out how we do our teleportation trick.
Okay, you're twins. Figured it out. No one except me, you mean?
Well, we have even better tricks up our sleeves. Huh? We do? I told you to keep it zipped.
No, don't fight, you two. Mr. Justice, what's this about a flaw in the testimony? The script has this to say about the fire trick. This will be dangerous. Make sure the fire bucket is ready. However, we found the fire bucket lying empty backstage except for a layer of dust. Oh. Ouch! You didn't even attempt to get ready for the next trick, did you, Betty?
You got me!
Betty DeFarm, you will explain yourself.
No, there is nothing to explain. Come on, Betty. We can't hide it any longer. We might as well tell them.
Shut up! You can barely take care of yourself. Don't try and tell me what to do. Well, if neither of you will explain, I guess I'll have to. The reason Betty didn't prepare for the fire trick is because she is afraid of fire. Was slacking off. Knew the show wouldn't get on. She knew that Mr. Reyes was gonna die. She's a co-conspirator. You didn't prepare for the fire trick because you knew, didn't you? You knew that the body would be found and that the show would then be canceled.
Don't be ridiculous. You insignificant speck of a man. I'm gonna yank those lame bangs of yours off. Is that what you want, huh?
Objection!
Whatever, they can grow back. They can? My man, they grow back instantly. Pew. Instant bangs. Now stop stalling and just tell us the truth already.
I can't reveal my secrets. I'm a magician.
Objection!
You have been chasing the shadow of an illusory culprit. Defense. And having chanced upon a convenient target, you have let yourself get carried away.
Exactly. Where's your proof, huh?
She'll kill him if she rips off his mandibles. Or is it an intent? And yet, I can see that the witness's taste for false words has also been proven. I advise you to confine your deceitful trickery to your magic act, witness.
Ugh, deceitful trickery.
As your court-appointed therapist, I'd like to add something here, Betty. You finally let yourself be who you really are. But if you continue to hide behind lies, you'll just be imprisoning your heart all over again.
But all these questions mean you're trying to put me in prison for real. So I'll be behind bars either way.
Does that mean you're admitting your guilt?
Of course not. I can't believe you people. Every one of you thinks I did something I didn't do. You. Lobster boy, cue ball geezer, headcase brat, Cerberus monk.
Jesus. She attacked everyone. Cue ball geezer? Head case brat? Really?
But Betty, calm down. Come on now. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Look, I'm not the murderer, I tell you.
Then how did you know the show would be called off before the fire trick?
I told you, we can't reveal our secrets. We're under contract.
Contract? What is she talking about? Be that as it may, you're obviously a suspect in this case.
Objection!
I'm beginning to see the karmic threads that make up the intricate tapestry that is this case. Huh? Allow me to summarize your assertions, defense. First, that the victim was killed in the understage passage. And second, that the witness and the accused are the only two who could have done it. Exactly. What's more, Betty knew that the body would be found, and that the magic show would then be called off. Therefore, it's reasonable to conclude that Betty killed the victim understage. But what if Betty knew that the show would be called off for some other reason? Like what? In the course of my investigation, I found it strange that the dragon set piece fell when it did. That, in conjunction with the body tumbling from the coffin in such a dramatic fashion. Oh no, they do the show we call off because he's drugged. All seemed too perfect for mere happenstance. It was as though the entire chain of events had been planned out in advance.
Ouch!
Planned out? After deciding to take this case, I scrupulously studied everything I could about the mass media in this country. I read the newspaper, old news reports. I even browsed tabloid magazines. How very industrious of you. I'm impressed. During this process, I learned about a strange practice favored by the TV world. A practice called the hidden camera prank. Hidden camera prank. Betty and Bonnie, you knew about this, did you not? About the dead body appearing, the set piece falling, the show being suspended. You two informed of this plan by Take-Two TV in advance, correct? Is that true?
Betty, please, let's tell them now. I can't hold it in anymore. Dang it! Fine, you got us. Everything the prosecutor said is true. The TV station paid us to cooperate with them on this plan. It was all a prank, a big setup planned out in advance. Mr. Reyes showing up dead in the coffin. The set piece falling down. It was all completely scripted.
And then someone came in afterwards and stabbed Mr. Reyes. It was a prank? It was all a prank? Bonnie, is this really true?
Yeah, Mr. Reyes was supposed to pretend to be dead. That's how it was supposed to go.
Oh. So he was in on it too?
That's right. He was supposed to show up dead in the coffin. And then the set piece would fall down. Tracy would be all shocked and start to panic. That's how the prank script went.
What? What the heck kind of prank is that?
Well, we never thought he'd actually wind up dead. Yeah, but that was the only thing that was different from the script. Poor Mr. Reyes.
Oh. I'm so completely lost right now. Well, Betty and Bonnie, it certainly sounds like you have some explaining to do.
Alright. I guess desperate times call for desperate measures. Just this once, we'll share how it was done with you. So listen carefully. You'll never hear this kind of thing anywhere else.
Oh, it's adorable.
After our teleportation trick, I went down under stage. When Mr. Reyes' body appeared from the coffin on stage, it was time for Betty to do her job in the understage passage. That's right. I used the remote control for the winch connected to the dragon set piece.
The dragon fell because whoever played saw that it reminded me of the body because people pick up on the contradiction when the murder happened. Yeah.
It made it fall down.
It's 100% the TV guy. Like, Roger Martinez, it's her. Well, him. It's him. 100%. No one else.
It made it fall down. And And just before the dragon fell, I called Trissy to the backstage so she wouldn't get hurt. After that, the plan was for Mr. Reyes to come back to life in front of a panicked Trissy. He was supposed to laugh and fly up and away. That's how it was scripted anyway. But for some reason, he really did turn up dead, so he kind of just stayed on the ground.
What kind of sick joke is that? It sounds like a terribly mean-spirited prank to me. The poor defendant was trying to do her magic show.
I guess so. I'm sorry, Trissy. Whatever. It was all the Rating Raja's idea anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like just the kind of thing a guy like him would come up with.
This is the prank plan script we got from the Ratings Raja.
The corpse appearing and the set piece falling were staged by Roger Regis. Dang it! He made us break our contract! Now we won't get paid! Mr. Reyes' body will appear in the supposedly empty coffin, which should cause a big ruckus. After capturing a bit of Trissy's reaction on film, Mr. Reyes will come back to life, laughing and flying up into the air, causing another round of surprise. Oh, he never went up into the air, though. Trissy will have an alibi now, though, if they find out the murder happened after, surely, yeah. So, at this point, Trissy should just get her not guilty and go on with her day. Let the detectives do their detectiving to find the real killer. But where does this all leave us? Who killed the victim, and when? Yes, exactly. Those are the key questions. If Mr. Reyes was only pretending to be dead in the coffin as a part of the prank, then when he was understage, there would still be life within him. And if that is the case, then Betty, who was also understage, may be excluded from our list of suspects. So it was Bonnie! Bonnie, how could you? Witness, was the victim alive up until he entered the coffin?
Oh, well, now that we've spilled the beans, we might as well show you this video.
Oh good, there's video. Greetings, viewers! It is I, the great Mr. Reyes. We are currently in the middle of Trussy's escape trick. Having snuck through the understage passage undetected, I am now hiding backstage, preparing to play a little prank on Trucy. I'm about to hide in the coffin, which Trusy will stab with her rubber sword. And when the coffin opens, ho-ho! I will be in it, acting as though I've met my maker. Can you imagine the looks on Trucy's face then? Ho-ho! I can hardly wait! He's about to hide in the coffin? Oh, they're gonna say,
Oh, but she still used the metal sword and stabbed him.
it would seem that threads of karmic destiny have led us to the truth. The victim passed through the understage where Betty DeFamme was, and came up into the backstage area. We know this because Mr. Reyes appeared to be backstage when he shot the video we saw. It appears that way, yeah. And defense, you proposed the following, did you not? What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put into the coffin? But then what about this video? This footage was taken just before Mr. Reyes entered the coffin. Oh, so does that mean... Yes, it is horrible but true. The tragedy did indeed play out right there on the stage. Went into the coffin where Mr. Reyes was hiding. Trucy Wright thrust her blade.
See? Told you so.
So, are you saying the incident was a tragic accident that happened during a prank? It would be an accident if the accused had no knowledge of the prank beforehand. So let us ask the accused herself. Miss Wright, did you have prior knowledge of the prank? What? No, Trucy, you didn't. Tell him, Trucy. You didn't know anything about it, right? Of course I didn't. I didn't know a single thing about it. I'm scared to click next and to see the flashing of the bracelet.
Objection.
Okay. Still think you can play innocent, do you? In that case, you leave me little choice but to present this piece of evidence. Bonnie, get the video camera after Mr. Reyes comes tumbling out. Oh! No! The carbon paper! The carbon paper! No! They got her twice! It looks like some sort of note.
Oh! That's...
I found this note in the dressing room after the incident. At the time, I did not understand what it meant, but all is clear to me now. Bonnie, get the video camera after Mr. Reyes comes tumbling out. Trucy Wright. They got her with the carbon paper! They got her with the carbon paper twice! There's a bomb in the courtroom. Everyone get out. How funny would that be, lol? Haha. It's almost like that happened. It's almost like that happened last game. What's this? Ah, my controller unplugged.
let's see. It says...
Wait, that actually happened? I wasn't watching. Yeah, I was doing a bit. Yeah, the courtroom exploded. There was a bomb last game. Let's see. It says, get the video camera after Mr. Reyes comes tumbling out. It is a note signed by the accused. I gotta watch the VOD. Instructing Bonnie to collect Mr. Reyes' video camera from him, it seems. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
I found it in the dressing room before the show. When I saw it, I realized that Trucy knew about the prank.
It does bear her signature, I'll give you that much. No! Apollo! Where is it? Where's the clipboard? The carbon paper! God. I'm not gonna lie, half these characters look like Pokemon gym bosses. They do, though. They really do. So, the defendant had prior knowledge of the prank. It would appear so, yes. When she learned about the plan to trick her, she decided to use it to her own advantage. So she thrust the steel sword into the coffin where the victim stood chuckling to himself. Is that not what happened, Miss Wright? Thank you for the hydrate. Thank you for the hydrate reverse.
And the posture check, thank you. Of course not. I didn't write or sign that note.
But the handwriting matches yours. All of the evidence and testimony points to you being the culprit.
But I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Then explain the existence of this note. You can do that, can you not?
I can't explain it. I didn't write it, so I don't understand.
I didn't kill Mr. Reyes. You have to believe me. The silence is deafening. Continue struggling against the threads of your own karma if you wish, accused. Even as you are inescapably caught in the web of fate you've spun for yourself. Miss Wright, The crowd starts shouting, death, death, death. Nayuta's like, just like home. It is time to resign yourself to your fate. No, I didn't do it. I knew it. That sweet-looking girl, a murderer? She took us all in with that act of hers. I told you, I knew she was a homicidal little witch from the start. Oh my god. But I didn't do it. I really didn't. Why doesn't anyone believe me? Shut up, you killer. We won't fall for that anymore. Oh, Trucy. This is bad. He's like, just like home. Your Honor, I suggest we put an end to this tragedy now. Give your official ruling, and let us offer the victim's soul the last right it deserves. Apollo, get out the carbon paper now. Very well, I suppose I have no other choice. This court hereby finds the defendant, Trucy Wright.
Objection!
The defense has an objection. Apollo. You. Even now you would. I won't give up, and I refuse to let either of them down. Mr. Wright, who's counting on me, and Trucy, who's put all of her faith in me. Mr. Justice, the fact that you have raised an objection means that you have evidence with which to refute the prosecution's claims, correct? Yes, of course, Your Honor. Do we really have anything, Apollo? Actually, we do. There's one piece of evidence we can present here. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may proceed. As we saw in the show footage, there's no question that the defendant thrust the sword into the coffin. The defense doesn't dispute this point. But let us not forget that this was a magic show filled with tricks and illusions. We can't take everything we see at face value. So you're saying some sleight of hand was somehow involved? Yes, the defense contends that the sword the defendant used was not the cause of death. Now, what was it Trucy told me she did just before she thrust the sword into the coffin? She swapped them. Very well. Let's see your evidence then, Mr. Justice. But remember, you interrupted my verdict to make this claim. Ooh. You'll be severely penalized if I find you are bluffing. You can only make one mistake here. Because if you do it again, you're dead. That's fine, Your Honor. This shows that it's possible the sword Miss Wright used was not the cause of death.
Take that!
What's this? A sword from the show? That's right, Your Honor. This rubber sword was in the sword stand under stage. During the trick, Miss Wright was supposed to swap the real sword for a rubber sword, and she told us on record that she remembers very clearly that she did. I see. So the sword the defendant thrust into the coffin was a rubber sword, was it? But then, why was a steel sword found lying on the stage? Somebody must have put the steel sword there by swapping it with the rubber one. Just after the incident occurred, the dragon set piece fell and the theater was evacuated. The real culprit must have used the resulting chaos. One moment. I dropped my thing again. To swap the rubber sword for the steel one. Sorry. To swap the rubber sword for the steel one.
Objection.
Do you not know when to give up, stink bug? That is not possible. Blood was found in the coffin hole that the sword was thrust into. It must have been left there when the accused withdrew the sword. This is the incontrovertible proof that the sword she used was the steel one.
Objection.
But that blood could be the result of someone tampering with the crime scene after the fact. After the set piece fell and the audience was cleared out of the theater, there was plenty of time for somebody to plant that blood there.
Objection.
If the sword the accused used was a rubber one, then when exactly do you propose the victim was killed? Given that Mr. Reyes was alive when he entered that coffin.
Objection.
Finding the answer to that question is precisely why we need to continue this trial. Let me express my opinion. By all accounts, it is certainly reasonable to suspect the defendant based on the evidence. But as to the question of whether the sword the defendant used was rubber or steel, I believe further discussion is warranted. Huzzah. One moment. I suggest we hear from the defendant herself on this issue. Very well, Your Honor. Yes, I saved it. Somehow. Too close for comfort, but still. Crime photo, updated in the court record. There are traces of blood in one of the coffin's holes. It's possible that the blood was placed there after the fact. Let's adjourn for a brief 15-minute recess. I advise the prosecution and the defense to use this time to prepare. Well. April 28th, District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Phew. That was hairy. It sure was, Athena. It sure was. Ooh, we're gonna have to cross-examine Trucy. Ooh. Well, gamers, thank you guys so much for showing up to the stream. I'm gonna send y'all off on a little old raid. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been fun. Send your way to Koi, Ken's. Say hi to Ken's. Thank you guys for showing up. It's been fun. I'm gonna go relax because I'm in a lot of pain right now. Well, see you guys tomorrow where tomorrow we'll probably end up finishing this case. Genuinely. Tomorrow's Thursday, yeah? I think so. Thank you guys for showing up. Peace.